Hello everybody, this is V1king Reviews, and today we'll be reviewing the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Armada Nemesis Prime in the Air Defense Minicon team. If you've seen my Seattle haul video, you know that I picked this guy up very recently, and that I alluded to the fact there was quite a challenge to get this figure. So originally, I put my information in to buy it, and there was an error, and so about a day or so later, I tried again, same error, and then shortly after I contacted Hasbro customer service, and they just asked me to re-enter my information. I did that. But by the way, they took me like a week. It took like a week for them to respond to my question. So that's fun. So this whole time I was using a guest account. I had not had a Hasbro Pulse account. It's not the first time I've ordered from Hasbro Pulse using a guest account, but I just finally decided to make an account and see if that would change anything. And lo and behold, it did. So, what can you do? So first we'll be starting off with the Air Defense Minicon team. Sonar, Jetstorm, and Runway. Now, if you take a look at Jetstorm here, you'll see that I have him mistransformed. You see on the box here that this piece is supposed to fold over his chest. I did not do this is because there is stories this piece breaking at the hinge here, because the way it's designed, there's so little clearance between the head and this piece that it's prone to snapping. So I did not fold down this piece over the chest. I think it looks fine without it, so for this review, this piece will not be folded down. First off, we'll be taking a look at my favorites of the three minicons, Runway. He has quite the bulbous chest. Quite the noggin. I really like the heads on all three of these. Except Sonar, which you'll see. A little bit of jet kibble on the back. Looking at Jetstorm, that's a nice fighter pilot helmet. Very gray. Jet kibble. And Sonar. That is a head. I'm not sure what it's supposed to look like, because the other ones look like some variation of fighter pilots. Not really Sonar. Articulation for Jetstorm and Runway are relatively similar to each other. Arm can go up, down, elbow bend, very tight elbow bend. Arm can also go out. Leg can kick forward that high, can't kick back at all, knee bend, and toe down. There's no head articulation, no waist articulation, no bicep swivels or thigh swivels. For Jetstorm, very similar. Arm go up, down, out, elbow bend. Leg can kick forward, can't kick back, knee bend. Nothing at the feet. Nothing at the head either. Sonar is the most different, also probably the most limited. Arm, elbow can bend and can swivel up. It cannot go out. There is no going out due to the way the ball joints were sculpted. Leg can kick forward. It can't kick back. Really tight knee and foot swivel. There's no ankle tilt. on this ball joint. Transforming these guys in their jet modes is pretty simple for all of them. Starting with runway, the simplest, most simple. Actually, probably Jetstorm is the most simple. You just gotta be careful with them. Pull the toes down. Pull the front half of the jet down. Make sure this all tabs in together. Make sure everything's all tabbed in. And boom, a jet. Now, for Jetstorm, fold these arms. So he's doing the absolute cinema pose. They're supposed to tab in, but I can never get them to. So they just sort of sit there. Fold these legs carefully. This is a problem. This leg comes off a lot. So you just gotta be really careful with it. Luckily it's on a ball joint, so it's easy to snap back on. Fold the knee, so it just covers the arms, like this. Take the nose cone. Well, if you had the tail fin folded down over the chest, you just fold it over the chest, fold it back up so it's over the head, like that. For sonar, it's the most different of all three. You swivel the foot like this, so the blues are together. Then you fold the feet like that. Then you tab them together. Next, you want to take these arms and just untab them so it all looks like this. Next, you want to fold this. All right, no, you fold it like this. So you fold the arms behind it itself, kind of. I'm not really sure how to describe it. Come on, there we go. So at least there's a tab that will go into that hole right there. I'm gonna fold these down. They're supposed to tab in. The one side doesn't tab in very well. And then you fold this post down. So it looks like that. Then you have the jets themselves. Runway, I'm not really sure what this is supposed to be. Probably some sort of made-up jet, but with no stabilizer fins. It doesn't look like much. Yes, thruster details. You can see there's a little bit of paint difference. That sucks. The arms kind of work because there's kind of like tiny little molded in guns underneath, so you can kind of go. Jetstorm is the one that actually looks like something you would see in real life. Has a landing gear. This leg is prone to popping off. Be careful with this fin. No thruster detail, exposed head. And they have sonar, the most wacky looking of them. I have no idea what this is supposed to be. Is it like a space shuttle or something? I know it's not actually what a space shuttle looks like, but that's the closest thing I can describe it, as like a space shuttle approximation. No thruster unless you count this as a thruster. Exposed head. And he just sort of sits there on these little tabs. Getting them combined into their Star Saber mode is kind of simple. Well, it gets progressively more and more complicated as you go down the line. Runway stays the same, looking off to the side. Jetstorm, you fold up this front part of the jet, so it looks like that. The landing gear sticking straight down like this. Apart from the side. And sonar does most of the converting, even like this. You untap these arms, split this legs in half. You just fold out the arms like this. Just leave it like this for now. All right, this can be a little tricky. You have there's this tab right here and right here. You'll just slide in there. And there's tabs on the knees that will just sort of fit into tabs on the legs of sonar. And now carefully tab this so to hold everything together. And it'll look something like this. That doesn't look right. I guess it's supposed to look like this. Whatever. Then you want to take runway and tap. There's these two holes on Jetstorm here, and there's these holes where the thrusters are. You need to stick them in there as hard as you can. It'd be a bit of a pain. It's in there. Get the sword, and it's very sturdy. The sword is unreasonably huge. Here it is, next to a normal deluxe. It's only a little bit shorter than the average deluxe. So it's a bit unwieldy for anyone who's not a big figure. Put it off to the side, and we bring in the main attraction. Bring him in for a closer look. Take a look at that head. I don't know what hell you can see, but he's missing an eye, because this is a battle damaged sculpt. So this is a slight retool of the Legacy Armada Optimus. The only thing different is the head, which has been resculpted to look a little more battle damaged. As you can tell, the faceplate is in ruins and he's kind of missing an eye. It's slight, but you can tell. Now, he doesn't come with everything the Armada Optimus did. The original Armada Optimus came with a trailer that he could combine with to make a super mode. He doesn't include this. And he's also about the same price as that Armada Optimus was. So clearly, the Star Saber is worth a trailer. Moving on to articulation. Head is on a ball joint. Swivels all the way around. It sort of like almost like clicks into place, staring straight ahead. Arms can T-pose. Can swivel 360. Double elbow bend. It bends quite. Wrist swivel, but it's deep inside a hand, deep inside of his forearm, so it's kind of hard to use. No waist swivel, but he does have an ab crunch, very slight. Next, legs can kick forward on ratchets, kick back on ratchets. You gotta move the belt flap out of the way in order to use everything. And they can go out, maybe move out the hip skirts, not on ratchets, thigh swivel, knee bend, about 90. He can bend his knee backwards as well. Next, ankle tilt and toe up. So you can get him in some poses. Doesn't look too turbodynamic in the waist section, unfortunately. He comes with several accessories, though most of them integrate into the robot mode. Comes with an ion blaster. He can plug into his hand. He also comes with a matrix accessory, which normally stores inside of his chest. So you can take it out. You can't really do anything with it. It just sort of sits in the chest. You can't even have him hold it because there's no post. There's also this little thing on his back. It's meant to be taken off to use in a super mode with Armada Jetfire, which is coming out. I think it's later this year. We're supposed to take this out and plug this onto Armada Jetfire's shield. Normally there's an Autobot symbol on it, but there's no Autobot symbol on this one. You can also take off each of these arm smokestacks, which can also be guns, and you can tab them in to his gun. I think it looks a little silly, so I just like to leave them on his arms for all modes. Also must say, the plastic feels really great and heavy on this guy. The joints all feel good. The only thing that's loose is like these, which I can forgive. It's just overall a solid figure, which is good because again, $90 for this man and a giant sword. Instead of jumping directly into vehicle mode, well, first we gotta see the Star Saber. He reads it well. I feel like it works a lot with. I feel like it works with him well, due to the colors kind of matching. It's still almost as big as him. And then he's only a head taller than his own sword. I think this sword is about sending a message. It's not about actually using it in combat. It's about sending a message. Moving on, we'll be looking at his torso mode for the super modes. First, you want to go to the feet, flip out these flaps, and fold these feet in, and then spin around these hands. Close up the flaps. Close up the flaps. Go around to the back. Take the feet, take these toes, and fold them in to cover these gaps. Hands for feet. Next, you want to go to the torso section. Fold this up. You want to take this and fold it like that, and that gives you access to open this whole section up. First, you want to make sure all of these hip skirts and butt flaps are tabbed together, because that will form shoulder pads. Just make sure the arms are out of the way. And you want to take each arm, fold it down like that. It gets the legs out of the once we're legs, down our arms out of the way. You want to take the head, fold it up, slide this piece down if it hasn't been already. Take an ear, fold it out. So the little crest. Next, you want to take an arm, make sure they're folded behind the shoulders, and then you want to fold the arms in this zigzag looking pattern. And try to tab them in onto these shoulders. Boom. Same on the other side. You can rotate the hands if you really wanted to and take off these smokestacks, but I'm not going to. Come on. There we go. Make sure it's all together. I'm going to take each of these little sections, just move them forward. Straighten out the arms, and boom, a torso mode. I'm not going to go over articulation for this mode. I will, if I review Armada Jetfire, I will include a super mode. All I know is that it looks kind of bad and it kind of sucks without legs. So, give me a second, I will get this back to robot mode so we can get on to the vehicle mode. And we're back. Now moving on to vehicle mode, the conversion is similar in some places to super mode, though different in others. Overall, it's a pretty easy conversion. First, you want to open these flaps, pull these toes in, make sure you do not swivel out the hands, close these flaps up. Next, you want to tab the legs together. Oh, give me a second. Here we go, the legs together. Then fold and the legs like that, backwards a little bit. Then you see these tabs will go into this holes and just sort of lock everything into place. Make sure all the hip skirts are folded together, tabbed together. And then you'll flip up these wheel sections and they'll rest. There's tabs that will rest in some slots on the hip skirts. I say rest because they don't really tab in, they like to move on their own. Make sure this is not pushed forward, it's supposed to be pushed out like this. Next you want to, similar to the super mode, fold up these pieces. Next you want to take this whole section, fold it up like hold on. Or it might be easier if we tab the arms to the cap first. Well, first you want to fold the hands so that they're hidden behind the forearms. Now you want to bend all of those backwards and try to tab them into the cap as best you can. It's not going to be perfect. Now you want to take this section, fold it up so it sort of locks. Come on. Okay. Make sure this is all tapped. Make sure it's really squished together because it will want to come out and done. And boom, there you go. Now you want to take one of these, move it forward. Same with the other one. Make sure everything's tabbed in as best you can. See, these will want to move. I guess this is semi mode. This is not a real life semi. It rolls well, which is nice. For some reason, it's not wanting to sit on. Nice evil clear plastic windows. It looks like he's gonna run over some children. No tail lights, that was expected. This wasn't really meant to be seen from the back at all. Usually there's a trailer covering this whole section. That's why the bed looks so long. For accessory storage, you mainly just plug anything under the 5mm holes. Helps cover up these very bright blue fists. For the Star Saber, can't really store it really well. Of course, you could just plug into a 5mm port to the world's largest antenna. Overall, the Star Saber itself is a nice, sweet little package. You get 3 little dudes who are relatively solid, except Jetstorm apparently. They then turn into a big sword, which is too big for basically any normal Transformer. Overall, the Star Saber, the Air Defense Minicon team, is a 7.5 out of 10. Nemesis here, I really like him. I liked him way more than I was expecting to like him, because I mainly bought this guy so I could combine him with Armada Jetfire when he comes out. but I'm actually in love with this guy. So this guy is a 8.5 out of 10. I mean, I know why they didn't have a waist, but it really sucks that they don't have a waist. And it doesn't look great in vehicle mode, though I prefer it in robot mode. Get the set if you can. It's a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, so get this thing on sale. Don't get it full price like I did. I'm sorry, but it's not worth full price. If it's on sale, then yes, pick it up. They're not for $90. If you want the Star Saber itself, well, you might have luck trying to find the original version that's made out of clear plastic, so that may just break on you. Or there's a new Armada Red Alert that got revealed recently. It's also a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, but it comes with a bunch of mini-cons, including a repaint of the Star Saber into the Dark Saber. So if you really want the mold, you could get that. A lot more bang for your buck, and it's also like $10 cheaper than this set. Plus you get a bunch of mini-cons. That is it for today's review. Next review will be on, it's Universe Cyclonus. Universe Cyclonus and Nightstick. Until then, this is V1king Reviews. V1king out.